All right, hello Grove City Wrestling family. I wish I could be there with you to celebrate Ruley's roast and more importantly Ruley's retirement. Coach Ruley, when they told me that you were retiring at first, I didn't believe them. We all know, and I'm sure that this is a big joke at the roast right now, is that Ruley's been saying he's going to retire for quite some time. And I remember Ruley saying that he was going to retire back when my brother was wrestling at Grove City High School. And my brother's 10 years older than me. And Ruley made it through my brother, made it through me, past Wesley, and is finally retiring. So I just want to say first, congratulations. I'm really excited for you, and thank you. Not only to Coach Ruley, but all the coaching staff. You guys really helped me out, helped me reach a lot of my wrestling goals at Grove City, and I really appreciate everything that you've done for me. So when they told me that you were having a roast, I was sad I couldn't be there for it, but I wanted to be a part of it anyway. And so I wrote down some things. I was talking to some of the guys on the team, and I wrote down some things that I thought were funny just throughout the year. So I'll start with just some Ruley quotes that he used to say, and maybe move on into a couple stories. I'll try and keep it brief. I don't want to take up too much time, but Ruley quotes: "I don't do cool. Hey, Sparky. Hey, gay kid. How do you weigh that much? That's more than you weighed before practice." Ruley was always a technician, always very concerned with guys' technique, and so when our wrestlers would be in an unfavorable position, maybe getting turned to their back, Ruley's advice to them: get off your back. Don't just roll over. And if it was a tight match, Ruley's go-to advice: wrestle. Imagine if I had somebody here poking him right in the chest. What are you, checking me out? He also could never say Jake the Video's name. Dovey-do. What I say, while pointing his hand like a gun. Okay, let's see what else I wrote down here. Oh man, roller coaster dieting. Look at that cute young thing over there. While he's pointing to a sea creature in the bleachers. And then just a couple stories, that I'll never forget from wrestling. First one, I've got a lot of my stories have to do with riding in a vehicle with Ruley, and I don't know if anybody's ever rode in a vehicle with Ruley before, but it's interesting. He can be a bit of an aggressive driver sometimes, and we were in the car, and Ruley had made a wrong turn, and he had pulled down a one-way street. Unfortunately, we were going the wrong way down a one-way street. And so we're freaking out, and we're like, Ruley, this is a one-way street. I'm only going one way. So there's that. Also, too, and I'm sure this one is going to be told by, I'll let maybe one of the other guys tell this one, too. When we were going down to Virginia for the camps at UVA, and and Ruley missed the exit. And so, in great haste to try and get back onto the exit, Ruley pulls across the median, and I'm not sure if this is a rated PG-13 or what it is, but Ruley was letting out some expletives as he was driving across from the highway over the median back onto the exit to try and catch our exit. And then another one that I'll never forget from Ruley. And so after all of our matches or tournaments, Ruley would bring us into the room, and we would all sit against the wall by the by the basketball hoop that has no hoop. And so I remember this day, Ruley was upset with us because we had some guys that didn't quite wrestle up to our potential. And so Ruley, what he would do is he would go through the lineup, starting with our youngest guys, our lightest guys, and work the way up. So if you ever didn't wrestle well, it was terrible because Ruley was just going to call you out in front of the whole team. And so we got to 145, and our 145-pounder did not wrestle up to his potential. And so Ruley says, at 145, let me tell you about this weekend. At 145, we didn't exactly set the world on fire. Let me tell you what happened. You lost, then you lost, and then you took the kid into overtime, and you lost. So that was one I thought was pretty funny. And then finally, one that I'll never forget, my senior year, we had a good year, and Ruley would bleach his hair for when we made it to state. So hopefully somebody has a picture of that. I wish I had one that I could show. But Ruley would bleach his hair for state, and we made it to the Hershey Hotel. That was what we all wanted. We wanted to stay in the Hershey Hotel, so we put on all these robes. We were, acting like kings in the Hershey Hotel, and we would always go in Ruley's room and mess around with him, and he'd be sleeping, and we'd wake him up and smack him on his stomach. And so Ruley has a thing for sleeping in his whitey tighties, and and I remember one time Ruley came in the room just only wearing his whitey tighties. He might have had some socks on too. And Ty Wise was in there. I think Justin Cook was in there as well. And Ruley tackled Ty onto the bed in just his whitey tighties. And that is a memory that, whether I want to or not, I'll never be able to forget. So again, guys, thanks for everything you've done for me, Coach Ruley. Congratulations. Have a happy retirement. Next time I'm in Pennsylvania, I'll have to meet up with you guys. Have a good one.